when I mean, initially when we were talking, I mentioned that we have a lot of cultural issues to deal with, where people have to start valuing things that need to be valued. So I'll give an example. When we talk about poverty, poverty is real, but poverty is also a cycle that we need to break out of. So I'll give an example. In 2016, I went with my family to Nigeria. And on the way to the village, I stopped in the central town of the city of Olo. And I saw a man selling fruit trees.
Okay.
And I think I bought about 4 or 5. And then I put them in the bus that was taking us, or the car that we had chartered from Owerri. And then we now went to the village. As we got to the village, greeted my mom, my sisters, everybody, and and then I got my boys and my wife's niece or cousin, and we said, come on, we're planting trees now. We planted an avocado. We planted a sycamore tree. We planted guava. We planted all these trees, Now, do you know that recently my sister was telling my sons who are in London that, the tree you planted, we harvested so much avocados that we had to take it to the local market.
Wow.
And we sold a lot. Now, we planted these trees in 2016.
Yeah, 9 years ago.
I asked my sister, has anyone ever come to you to say, please, can I have seeds from these plants so I can grow in my garden or in my compound?
Yeah.
She said, nobody in the 9 years that we've been.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? When the tree fruits, can I have some? Can I have some? People are taking and taking. No problem with taking.
Yes.
But have you ever said, what can I do to break out of poverty? Basic, simple steps. Sometimes I wonder, are people thinking? Imagine you have a land. You can, if you ask anybody for a seed from a fruit, they'll give it to you, even they throw it away.
Exactly.
Just for 3 years. Can you be patient for 3 years and plant some trees that will give you food? No, people are just thinking of today.
Now.
So that survival mentality is killing us.
Yes.
Because all people are thinking about, what can I eat now?
Now.
But they're not even planning. I teach my students, I teach strategy. And you see, we tell basic strategy, we say, look, strategy is about where you are now, where you want to be in the future, and how you get there.
Yeah.
That's what we teach them. So we say, okay, how are you going to get there? How are you going to break out of poverty? You have land, you have sunshine, you have everything. All you need is, even while you're doing other works and looking for your daily bread, start planning for the future. And our people are not planning.
Yeah.
So that cycle of poverty is there. And they'll say, oh, we need energy, we need this, we need that, but they're not investing, So I think the gap of practicality, like you mentioned about innovation, research, and knowledge, our people they know about some of these things, but translating them into practical, simple steps that would take them out of poverty. For instance, I don't believe that an individual is poor.
Okay.
I believe, that poverty is a choice people make. It's a choice countries make.
I agree with you.
It's a choice individuals make, because they're not planning for their future. And they're waiting for the government to do everything for them.
Well, see, Charles, okay, I agree with you totally on this, okay? But I will say this. It's how we have been, okay? See, the world today is very, very different from 100 years ago, 200 years ago, okay? The economic structure of today is very different from 200 years ago. It's unfortunately, as we moved out from the old economic model where everybody was a farmer, feeding themselves, all of us were feeding ourselves, right? You were not relying on your brother to come and feed you. Your brother and his family are farmers. You and your family are farmers. Now, when we graduated out of everybody is a farmer, we didn't learn how to be independent in a new economic model. And unfortunately, most of us went into the mentality that the government is in charge of you. Whereas in the old model, your king or chiefs were not in charge of you. You were responsible for everything. In the new model, the government is now responsible for your life. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but and somehow a lot of philosophies buttress that kind of thinking, that someone else is responsible for your life.
Yeah.